celebrate with an inspirational, determined, and an exceptionally motivating person at the Duchess Club. A warm welcome to our guest speaker, Ms.Preethi Srinivasan. I'm so sorry I'm sitting over here. You know, this is the new norm of organizing meetings nowadays, hybrid meetings. A warm welcome to you, dear Preethi Srinivasan, and a very warm welcome to her mother, Mrs. Rajee Srinivasan, and of course to Rajee Rajesh. And of course, Mrs. Srinivasan has been a pillar of support to her daughter throughout her journey, right? And Preethi Srinivasan, who's here in front of us, her world took a turn at the young age of 18 when she became paralyzed below her neck due to a misfortunate accident. Before that, she was the youngest member of the Tamil Nadu State Women's Cricket Team and also a national level swimmer. She was exceptional in her academics as well. Her paralysis turned her world upside down. She completely lost her identity in the span of a split second. It took nearly a decade of treatments, and with the help of the grace and her parents, Preethi had a spiritual awakening. She reached a state of equipoise which allowed her to smile despite desperately heart-wrenching circumstances. Since then, Preethi had spoken at various forums, had been a speaker at the TED Youth at Hyderabad, TEDx talks at various places. She's also the winner of many awards. Amongst them are the Kalpana Chawla Award for Courage and Daring Enterprise, the Femina Pen Shakti Award, World of Women Award from the Hindu group, and many, many more. Having completely embraced her role as an instrument of the divine, Preethi now seeks to spread love, light, and laughter in the world as she sees this as a purpose in life. Preethi certainly has journeyed life a full circle. She's a complete person today. I think this calls for a big round of applause for Preethi Srinivasan. Thank you very much for being here. I really appreciate it. Today, she will be in conversation with our very own member, Rajee Rajesh. I think all of you know Rajee Rajesh. She's a valued member of the Duchess Club, a happy-go-lucky, cheerful person with positivity and empathy as her strength. Rajee loves to explore new ideas and pursue avenues of creative expression. An aspiring writer, blogger, and a sought-after speaker. She definitely is. A multi-dimensional finance professional with varied interests in movies, travel to heritage sites, mountaineering, and hikes. Rajee is a qualified chartered and cost accountant. She's a financial planner certified by the Financial Planning Standard Board of India. She's today ranked among one of the top women financial advisors in India. Rajee was recognized as one of the top 10 consultants in India in 2020 by the magazine CEO Insights. She's the founding director of Banconer's Finance Solution. Rajee embarked on a mission to educate not just her clients, but others who do not seek her expertise. Thus was born Money Matters, a financial educational program emerging from years of experience helping people manage their money and investments better. She recently launched Shakti, an online financial education program exclusively for women. She's also the founder member of a ladies group in Trichy called Aura, and she's a member of the educational committee of Sri Ramakrishna Vidyalaya Matriculation School, a 20-year-old trust committed to providing education to rural children in an economically disadvantaged area. Well, I think I can go on and on about Raji, but that's in a nutshell there for you. So before I hand it over to Raji and Preeti, I'd like to invite Mr. Sola Suresh. I believe you had a couple of, you wanted to address? Or later, after Srini. Yeah. Okay. Over to Raji and Preeti to carry on with the meeting. Thank you so much.
A very warm welcome to our honorary member, Ms. Shivashankari, who has also joined us on Zoom.
Thank you so much, Ravi, for that very kind introduction, and thanks a lot to the Duchess Club for giving me this opportunity to moderate this morning's session. A very happy morning. A very happy morning to all of you lovely ladies here. The mask can cover your faces, but it's not covering your beauty and your smiles. I can see it in your eyes. And a big virtual hi to all of those who have zoomed in for this program. We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give is one of my favorite quotes of Winston Churchill. And I wish to thank each one of you today because you chose to give 1 hour, 60 minutes of your precious time to listen to this conversation. Because I know that time is free, but it is invaluable. And it would be my sincere attempt to make this morning worth your while as I wish to both introduce and interact with these two amazing women here. Soul Free is a public charitable trust which focuses on rehabilitation of people with spinal cord injuries and is also educating and spreading awareness to sensitize the society at large on the plight of the severely abled in India, especially women. And we have with us this morning the founding trustees of Soul Free, Ms.Preethi Srinivasan and Mrs. Vijayalakshmi Srinivasan. This mother-daughter duo are living examples of the statement that nobility is not just about doing great things, it is about doing small things with great love. The last 1 year has been very, very challenging to all of us in many ways, and we have had to draw upon our own reserves of inner strength and resolve to cope with a lot of things. And I'm sure this interaction today with Preethi and her mother will inspire us to be more accepting, more positive, more courageous, more kind and more loving, both to ourselves and to the rest of the world at large. So welcome Preethi and welcome Auntie. Preethi, before we start our conversation, I just want you to narrate your story. I mean, apart from what we can see in YouTube or everywhere, I want you to narrate in your own words, your story and whatever you want to share with our members.
Sure. Thank you so much. It's truly a pleasure to have this opportunity to speak to the Duchess Club members. I mean, it's a real privilege for me because I know that there are many, many powerful women who are excelling in various fields here. And I live in Tiruvannamalai, which is a small temple town. And, to have this opportunity itself is a great blessing for me. And I'm very grateful for this opportunity. So I'm not used to the AC, so it's a little cold. Yeah, my journey in one word has been an adventure. I'm an only child. I was born 9 long years after my parents were married. So as we know in India, there's a lot of penance involved, and I was born as a blessing to them, and they gave me so much love and care, and so I had a blissful childhood. I started swimming at the age of 3 because my father never had the opportunity to learn swimming formally. So he wanted me to swim like they do in the Olympics. So he took me to the IIT pool when I was 3 years old with a float on, and so I never learned to be afraid of water. I was fearless from the beginning, and that's how my father actually his upbringing was all about that. He never said, "You're a girl, you should not do this," or anything like that. He always used to tell me, even if you want to be a mechanic, I will support you 100%, but you should do it with so much love and so much passion that you become the world's best mechanic. So I was very, very blessed and privileged to have that kind of father who wanted to always instill in me the confidence to fulfill my highest potential. So, I mean, he was my best friend and philosopher and guide, and he's a part of me. So, from there, I started playing cricket when I was 4 years old. I always tell the story about how the 1983 finals, when India played the first ever World Cup final in cricket with Kapil Dev at the helm, I was the only girl in India who was supporting the West Indies squad. And when we'll ensure Kapil doesn't hear. So when Kapil took this, this catch running behind that is etched in the memories of all cricket lovers, after Richards got out, I got fever. That was the kind of madness that I had for cricket. So at the age of 4, I started playing cricket under Mr. P.K. Dharmalingam, who was one of the best coaches in South India. And I was playing with 300 boys. So I was the only girl, and I was totally fine with that because I was one of the boys the whole time. So it was absolutely fun. I went to what I believe is one of the best schools in India, Vidya Mandir in Mylapore. And again, this was a school that encouraged an original thought. In 5th grade, the history teacher came up to us and said, so how many of you think studying history is a waste of time? And this was the school that allowed a girl in 5th grade to stand up and say, I think it's a waste of time because we keep repeating ourselves anyway. We don't seem to learn anything from it. So that was the kind of, the brash confidence and so I feel I've been very privileged. My childhood especially has been a blissful one, and one that has given me exposure because the 12 years of school, I went to 9 different schools in 3 different continents. So this is the kind of, I got to see people from various cultures. I got to live in some tremendously challenging circumstances as well, because, sometimes there is a lot of discrimination, and there are people who think that the fact that we are in their country, we are stealing their jobs. And I have always, again, with that confidence said that we are doing the jobs you are not capable of. Don't blame us for it. So that's the kind of attitude I had. And, but all that confidence, all that see, when we have always been good at what we do, there is a kind of arrogance attached to it. I don't know if you call it arrogance or what, but it's that not even the shadow of failure has ever touched you. So you don't know what it is to be in hardship. And I think many of the achievers here must have had that all their lives as well, where we've always been in privileged circles and we don't know what it is to fail. But then life gave me that opportunity. I feel it's a great blessing. It's a great blessing because I feel that challenge and being outside the comfort zone is when we actually grow. In the great spiritual and religious texts, we speak about how we grow out of ourselves and transcend our limitations, and we realize that we are not limited to the limitations of the body mind. But for that, we need to face its limitations. When we live under the the illusion that there are no limitations, that we are, I am this, I am that, I am the achiever, I am the beautiful one, I am whatever it may be, I am the CEO, I am the boss of everyone. We don't realize how small we are. And it is true, we are very small. We are nothing. I realized that when, like I've been saying, I started swimming at the age of 3. I've spent most of my life, a big chunk of my life in water. And I'd gone for a college excursion, and in about thigh-deep water, 2.5 feet of water, I stumbled and fell into the water, and I never got up again. In a split second, there was not a drop of blood. I didn't lose consciousness. Nothing happened. But life as I knew it was over. Because in that split second when I fell, I broke my neck and I became paralyzed below the neck. I had sustained a severe spinal cord injury. Spinal cord injury can happen to anyone at any time, as it did to me. The statistics in the US are that one happens every 38 minutes. It is not a rare condition. More than 18,000 injuries every year in the US alone. And in a tiny country the size of Ireland, which probably has half of Tamil Nadu's population, there are 3 cases every week. And this is documented, and I can give you citations of all this. But in India, a girl like me, we don't even have the luxury of being a statistic. No statistics are available. We don't know how many injuries happen every year. We don't know how many to men. We don't know how many to women. We don't know what happens to them when they leave the hospital. And the unfortunate truth is that once they leave the hospital, nothing much happens. They are told, this is your condition. You're going to be like this for the rest of your life. And they are just discarded. India is 1/5 of the world's population, as we know, and growing fast. And 43% of that is the women's vote. And even if it's 4% of those women who become physically challenged for whatever reason, if there's a woman in my condition and my family isn't there to take care of me, there's nowhere for me to go anywhere in India. For a woman in my condition, if my family is not there to take care of me, I can either be thrown onto the streets or I can be forced to commit suicide. These are my options. And I learned that, guess what? Even suicide is a luxury for me. I can't do it by myself. So suddenly, all the options were gone. There were no privileges anymore. I was, from the hero, I became a zero in a split second. Then it was a long time it took me to process that. I literally lost my sense of identity because I didn't know who I was anymore. I felt I was this beautiful girl. I felt I was intelligent. I felt I was a star. And my entire identity was based on my body and everything I did with my body. The social status we carry, all the labels. Everything was gone. Just a split second. Do you call it misfortune or do you call it fortune? Because that was the challenge that took me beyond myself. Because when I was so busy feeling sorry for myself, feeling angry at the world, feeling suicidal. My father came up to me and said, hey, why are you feeling so sorry for yourself? This body, everybody's body is going. It's going. Whether it's going in 5 days, 5 years, or 50 years, it doesn't matter. It's going to go. So you have been given this extraordinary opportunity. You have been placed in fast forward. So you can go within yourself and see that within you that can't be taken away. If your body can be taken away, your mind can be taken away, then who are you? So we went to Tiruvannamalai and we got this extraordinary opportunity to go beyond the body mind and find that within me that can't be taken away. And well, I must say a couple of near-death experiences helped in reaching that stage. But once you reach that stage where there can't be any fear anymore, once you hit rock bottom and you find that, guess what? Rock bottom is a great place to be because the only way to go is up. Once you face your fears and you come to terms and accept yourself as you are, then nothing can stop you. But while I was saying all this, a lot of things were happening in my life. My father, who was my best friend and my connection with the outside world, he was just 57 when one night he had a heart attack and the next afternoon he was gone. Every about year or so, rarely I would strum up the courage. Unlike Raji, I have nothing to do with finances. When I see numbers, my brain shuts down. So very rarely I would strum up some courage and ask my father, Appa, what are our finances like? And he would say, why do you worry about that, my child? I'll take care of it. I'll be the last one to go. And then 57 overnight, the man was gone. 4 days after that, due to the shock of losing her life partner, my mother also had a heart attack. And then we didn't know what we were going to do. I didn't know what was in the bank. We didn't know who was going to help me get from bed to the wheelchair. My whole life came to a standstill. It became about survival because my mother was taken to Chennai after her heart attack and there was nobody with us. So from that moment of utter vulnerability and helplessness comes a strength that you don't have words to explain it. I had to stop being my daddy's little girl and become the decision maker. I had to choose which hospital my mother would go to. It felt like I had her life and the entire family's life in my hands. And I was the decision maker suddenly. So when we took those decisions, and after my mother's bypass surgery, which happened to be a quintuple bypass, a 7-hour surgery, she came back and she is still, after 22 years, she's still my primary caregiver. She's my goddess and the single most important reason why I'm able to sit in front of you today with dignity and speak. So from this point on, my father's friends came up to us and said, what happens to you when there comes a time when your family is not around to take care of you? It's still $1 million question because I can't see my life without my mother at all. But what I got to see was that there are thousands of girls like me who don't have that luxury, who don't have a family to support them, who don't have the financial infrastructure, who don't have the education, just don't have any support system at all. These girls are just tortured. Day in and day out, they're told, you're a shame on us, you're a burden on the family. Nobody is willing to marry your brother because they're afraid they might have to take care of you also. The 3 months after we were in Chennai for my mother's surgery, we went back to Tiruvannamalai. 2 paraplegic girls I personally knew were forced to commit suicide. Poison was left next to them and they drank it and died. So my mother said, you be the change. I have faith in you. And I said, Ma, I'm afraid. I can't even take care of myself. What am I going to do taking care of hundreds of people? I don't know anything about accounts. I don't know anything about the law. I don't know anything about the way the world works. But when I knew that these girls had passed away, I said I had to do something. If I'm going to keep quiet now, then I'll be part of the problem, not part of the change. And I wanted to be the change. I wanted to be part of the solution. So that's where Soul Free was born. A lot of times people ask me, is it like toll free? Are you giving anything away for free? Yes, we are giving things for free at Soul Free. But Soul Free is all about setting souls free. Because while the soul may be always free, eternal, while it is in the body, it is limited to the body. And every day, if you are imprisoned in your body and told that you don't deserve to live, the soul dies a little bit. So we want to set souls free by giving people the opportunity to live a life of dignity and purpose. We want wheelchair users to not be disabled because impairment happens to everybody. How many of us are wearing glasses here? Quite a few. Do you feel you're disabled, handicapped, divyang, viklang, and what? Why not? Take your glasses off. There is a visual impairment that is fixed, that is accommodated by a pair of glasses, right? So this is what I think, that we are all disabled. We all have impairments. Very few of us are 100% perfect. And if we are, it is today or tomorrow. Currently, our body is cooperating. Eventually, it will not. So it's just a matter of degree. So why the discrimination? Maybe your disability is fixed with a pair of glasses and mine requires something more. So what? Are we so different? Can we not create an even playing field for everyone to be included and involved? How many of you use a car to come here? Hands up. All of us. So why didn't you walk? The body is limited. So what if I say that I use a car, it has 4 wheels? And my car can even come in here, whereas yours has to sit outside in the parking lot. So it has 4 wheels, it's taking me from A to B. And so what if yours is a Benz and mine is not? It's still a glorified wheelchair, isn't it? So if we change our perspective, I made a poster where there is an owl with its neck all the way to the side. And it says, if the world doesn't make sense at all, just change the way you look at it. So this is what we are doing at Soul Free. We are now supporting nearly 1,000 families of people who have spinal cord injury and who are living below the line of poverty. Our criteria is the entire family's monthly income is less than 5,000. Maybe it's just the cost of your sari. But these people are living on it. And we are changing lives. We are positively impacting lives. And we have now been given a 16,000 square feet building in Tiruvannamalai, where we are establishing India's first Inspire Center, Integrated Spinal Rehabilitation Center, that is going to be. So I can say that today I realized, and I'm living the fact that I am not bound by all the things I cannot do. I'm not all the things I cannot do, but I am what I choose to do with what I can do. And I know that my life is meaningful because even after I'm gone, people will still be supported by Soul. And that is what my life is all about. And I want to say that I won't be here without my mother. She's my goddess. For the last 22 years, she has been my primary caregiver. And without her, I'm nobody. And if there is one wish I have in my life is that I should make her proud of me. That's all. That's what I've always done. I'm happy.
I'm lost for words.
I've gone and spoken at many clubs. I've been given this privilege. And sometimes even the top management, I tell them, smile, hug somebody today, it's free. So how is it that I have lost everything that you're afraid of? And I'm the happiest person in the room.
Okay, ladies, on that note, can all of you send one hug to Preethi from wherever you are?
Yes.
So much love. So much love. And look at that smile. Thank you so much, Preethi, for that wonderful, wonderful narrative. I mean, if I had not been on camera, I would have cried. Okay, so I would just like to read out these lines written by Preethi. She writes beautifully. In the field of broken dreams, shards of glass lay scattered like blades of grass. In the field of broken dreams, shards of glass lay scattered like blades of grass. And yet, they are as brilliant as the stars, shimmering reflections of something vast and whole, bursting at the seams with larger purpose, infinitely greater than any individual dreams. The field is set alight with colors of cosmic streams. The path is set for the chosen one, the instrument molded anew and ready for its role. May the director's will be served and the divine enterprise free the soul. May the director's will be served and the divine enterprise free the soul. These are the lines that Preethi meant when she named her organization Soul Free. So I think after listening to it, I'm truly convinced that Soul Free is a divine enterprise and you are indeed the chosen one, the instrument. Thank you so much. Now, I want to slightly shift the spotlight to our next guest. While we are all overwhelmed by Preethi's achievement, the role of one pillar of strength, as Preethi herself admitted, cannot be undermined. Her mother, her primary caregiver, and a great source of inspiration to Preethi, at 6 to 7 years of age, Vijay Vas is her Facebook name. And I checked out the entire profile yesterday and I was put to shame. So Vijay Vas is an ardent devotee of Lord Krishna, a poet herself, and the soul behind Soul Free. She is the managing trustee of the Soul organization, a karma yogi by nature. She is unassuming and hardworking, not taking any credit for her incredible patience, perseverance, and ever positive attitude. Her Krishna consciousness keeps her fully alive in the present moment and accepting all the events as they are. An expert cook, you should check out her recipes. She's equally proficient in several cuisine, including South Indian, North Indian, Mexican, and Italian food. There's a huge story. Preethi can't cook, neither can I. But Preethi sends, she gives orders to her mother through YouTube videos. So she sends YouTube videos to her mother and asks her to cook those, right? That's what I heard. So she is, her special expertise is in making healthy food taste delicious because she adds that dose of love, the love she infuses into everything she makes. And she's a creative force. She excels in tangible painting, embroidery, other handwork so much. And now she's also concentrating on here. And if you love Preethi's smile, you know where she got it. Okay. So, Auntie, I have a couple of questions for you. I would like to entertain the questions between you and Preethi because we would like to have a conversation with both of you here. And so we just heard Preethi's whole story, and it's as we had put up in the poster, it's a saga of courage and conviction. I mean, in the face of adversity, how do you pull up your socks and do this? But something that happens to us maybe hits us lesser, or we are caught up in that whirlwind of action. But when something happens to our loved one, when you fall sick yourself, you don't know as much. When you see your daughter or your spouse or your child or your mother going through something like this, it's a different experience altogether. At some level, you can't even, deny feeling responsible for it. So how did you find the strength to carry on with so much love, so much patience, and so much vitality, despite the tremendous tragedies that you have faced in your life? We would like to hear about your views.
I really don't know how I could do this. I think it is the grace of God and our Guru's blessings and grace. I was not thinking about the future or the past. Live in the present. Next minute, what you are going to do, what you are doing now, what is required now. That was on my mind. So I was, keep doing all these things. So no worries.
Isn't that oversimplified or what?
Yeah.
If I may interrupt here, there was this time when my catheter was blocked and I was going into what is known as autonomous dysreflexia.
Already they are crying. She said she could see the smile through their eyes. Now don't make them cry.
No, but I want them to see how strong you are. So I was having this autonomous dysreflexia when the body goes into a condition where the BP just shoots and you can have a brain hemorrhage also. And I was in such pain. I was saying, Mama, I'm dying. And she's like, I know she's tense and I know she's scared for me and all that. But she's saying, don't worry about it. He's not going to let us go that easily. So that is her current, her present moment awareness is so there that in that moment of utter emergency, she's cool and calm. And after that, she'll freak out.
No, I can't show that to her. Oh, she's already crying and I have to be strong for her.
So, and don't you think, in this year of lockdown, so many of us are catching up on the Gita and scriptures. Don't you think she just quickly summarized it in 2 lines? Thank you so much, Auntie. So back to you, Preethi. So we've heard so much of your stories and there is enough. I request all of you to visit the Soul Free website. It's a humble request from me because I've started working closely with Preethi over the last few months in both her Soul Free Enterprise and Inspire. So you would see more videos of Preethi and more about her achievements, which I assume would help you spread the word. But I want you to share with us one story or one commendation in the last 5 years, which kind of, made you kick ass and get out of that bed and do whatever you want every day. So one story or one commendation, anything. It could be from a celebrity, it could be from someone we don't know. One story that energized you.
Actually, as a sports person, I feel I've always thrived on challenge. But having got myself out there, see, right after my accident, I didn't want to meet anyone. I was within the house for nearly a decade. I lived in almost complete isolation. So meeting people is a commendation in itself for me. I love it. I truly enjoy it. And I feel it feeds me. So that energy is always there. But in the beginning, I was so afraid I would get panic attacks because I didn't understand why people saw me and did not want to see me. I felt invisible. but now I don't. You know? But so that change was very important for me in my own. I had to first find myself and love myself before anybody else could see me and love me. So for me, at this point, it is the challenges of others that feeds me, that energizes me. For spinal cord injury, bed sores, infected bed sores are the main reason for death. And we have seen such horrible cases. My heart bleeds for them, and I have to do something. So in that case, there are people like the previous collector of Tiruvannamala, Mr. Kandasamy. He is such a great angel for me. I would send him these, especially when COVID started, I would send him photographs of people I could not help. And he said, "Madam, what can I do for you?" And I said, "Sir, you are the only one who can save these people's lives." And quietly, at least 25 people's lives we have saved. There are people in my condition, he's lying in bed. His mother, for whatever reason, she lost consciousness and she fell down on the floor. He took a photo and he sent it to me. He can't get up and help her. So immediately we called the government officials and they actually came to the rescue. They sent somebody there. So this energy that I want to save their lives, but I can't do it myself. But when there are angels like Kandasamy sir who come and say, "I value your thoughts, I want to help as well," then it creates some kind of phenomenal effect, like the butterfly effect. And then, that energy is there and we can do so much together. So that kind of thing really feels me.
Okay, to add a story to that, Mr. Kandasamy in Tiruvannamala has recently used his power and donated the old GH, Government Hospital of Tiruvannamala, to the Soul Free Trust. And that is where the Inspire Center is coming up, first of its kind center for the rehabilitation and treatment of people. It's a transition center where we are creating state-of-the-art infrastructure, or rather, Preethi is, when she says we, I don't understand who she's talking of, because all the work that she has done, these two remarkable women have done it single-handedly or with 4 hands. So this center is coming up where she's expecting people to be admitted, treated through a stream of therapies and help them transition from hospital to home as people independently who can take care of themselves. So that is her vision. I request all of you to visit the website, learn more about it, spread the word, and support it in whatever way you can. So coming back,
invite you to come to Tiruvannamala anytime.
yeah. So I'll talk about that. What happened? My life-changing event. So Auntie, coming back to you. So we have heard Soul Free. Preethi talks so much about Soul Free. So what does Soul Free means to you, and how have you processed? You have seen your daughter go through this, nursed her back to health, and it must be one redeeming feeling to see her this positive and smiling and energetic. But then at the next level, to see her do this work and see that organization grow from strength to strength. What do you feel? What are your thoughts on this?
Actually, nowadays it's difficult even to feed her. Phones keep coming, she can't eat. She always likes to eat hot food. So when I bring the hot food, she keeps talking for hours and this will become cold.
I know.
That is too difficult.
Don't we relate to that? Happens in all our houses.
This is too much now.
Too much.
I told her not to take the calls while you are eating. Eat, enjoy your food.
She should be tell her.
Yeah, and she's going on her own to the center, 2 kilometers from her house. She's coming back on her own. I'm little worried till she comes. I can't even sleep or anything. Take a nap also. I feel somebody is there with her all the time, when she needed. Then I'll be really happy. But it's Bhagavan is there with her.
And
Yeah.
what do you think of soul
Soul Free is growing. I'm really, really very happy about it. And that was my only motto. I told her, we need to help at least 4 people in the world.
And from there, you have now touched 4,000 lives.
I should grow up more. That's my wish.
Don't we relate to this conversation where the mother is saying something and the daughter is, nudging her and say, don't say this, don't say that, do this, do that. Where the daughter is bossing over the mother. I can see my daughter doing it all the time. Don't fall. Okay. And Preethi, I would like you to also talk. Preethi is currently pursuing a doctorate in IIT Chennai. How cool is that? When we can't even pull up our thoughts to attend online workshops, we need something more than WhatsApp forwards. So, Preethi, tell us about that briefly. What is your study about, and how do you manage this? I mean, do you have 24 hours or what?
Everything is a fluke in my life. We believe that. Actually, we had gone for one of these talks, and the guidance counselor in the college said, "My people like you should study PhD." I was very happy. I was like, now I'm old. Now I've completed my master's. I'm working. I'm happy. Soul Free is doing well. And I was very settled. And then she said, "Needla PhD panna vendama." And I was like, no, I'm happy. But then somehow it got into my mother's mind. She said, there are no doctors in our house. I wanted you to be a doctor. Now at least PhD you can do for me. And I'm like, okay, ma. So then I applied directly to IIT because I knew no way I am going to get IIT. So then I tell my mother, see, I tried, it didn't come through, what to do? Then I went for the examination, and the afternoon I gave the interview. By fluke, I got admission. So then I found out that I'm the first woman with a 90% disability to ever gain admission into any of the IITs in their history. So it's a great privilege for me. I have never even imagined that I would be part of such a esteemed and one of the best organizations in India. To represent them is a great privilege for me, and I get to study what I'm passionate about. I am doing my PhD in the Humanities and Social Sciences department. The work I'm doing is about disability and how women with disability, actually being a woman itself in India in such a patriarchal society, is considered a disability. So being a woman with disability then becomes a double discrimination. So the kind of factors that affect the self-esteem of women with disabilities is my focus, and so this is the work I'm doing, and I feel very privileged to have this opportunity to be the face and voice of this invisible. We never meet, we never see them. It's not that they're not there. It's that they have not come out into the world. And I feel if I can be the face and voice, and if I can somehow reach out to them and tell them, come out, it's time for us to speak up. It goes both ways. We can't keep saying society is not accessible, society is not inclusive. We need to come out and put ourselves out there and take that risk, and then things will happen. So I feel it's both ways, and I can be the bridge. I'm very happy.
Very, very well put. And there's one side of Vichy that she writes poetry. Every day, I mean, I see her Facebook page, every week she says something. So she had a request where she wanted to read one of her Tamil poems. I'm sure most of you would follow it. And it's also about, I mean, we would have loved to share the picture, a cute picture where Preethi is in the swimming pool with her father when she was 4 years old. And then she wanted to read that poem. So I would just request all of you to spare a couple of minutes when Vijay aunty wanted to read that. You found it, aunty? I can give you some.
My mother is so talented. She does beautiful tanjore art and handicrafts and all that. But she has had to sacrifice so much for my sake. It's like in every part of my body used to be like glass. I used to keep it oiled and nice and all that. Now it's full of battle scars. But she's the one who ensures that, you know, every part of my body is taken care of. Every part of my skin, she ensures that there's no bed sore, and she has, you know, cut my skin out when I had bed sores, and she does the dressing and sterilizing and all those things. So I think I am her biggest painting.
Okay. One happy poem, yes, read out to you, narrated by Boss.
நீரிலே சிரிக்கும் இந்த தாமரை மொட்டு, நீரிலே பூத்திருப்பதோர் தாமரை மொட்டு, தன்னை காக்க தந்தை அருகில் இருக்க கவலை என்ன சிட்டு, மிதக்குதே நீரில் மிதக்கும் சாதனமிட்டு. She has a float in her hand. Float. So நீரிலே மிதக்குதே சாதனமிட்டு, பூத்திருக்குதே தாமரை மொட்டு. 10 அடி ஆழத்தில் தூக்கி போடப்பட்ட 3 வயது குழந்தை சிரித்தபடி பூவாக மேலே வந்ததே. இழைத்து நீந்த கரத்தின் மலரின் இதழ்களை தெய்வம் பித்து போட்டதே. நீலக்கடல் தந்த விளைவு அடக்கியதே கை கால் அசைவு. வாழ்க்கை கடலிலே நீந்தி கற்றுக் கொடுக்கிறாள் துடுப்பின்றி. காக்கும் கரங்களும் இல்லை, கவலையற்ற நிலையும் இல்லை. கவலையில்லாத ஆயினும் சிரிக்கிறே பொன்வண்டு. ஒளியும் தேனும் தருதே அனைத்திலும் ஆண்டவனை கண்டு. வாழ்க பல்லாண்டு பாடும் தாய் மனது.
Okay, quickly, we know Preethi, the trustee of soul. We know this achiever. So what is this Preethi, the woman, the girl woman? What is she like? Food?
Yeah, I love food.
Everyone loves food. What food?
I like variety, and I have 4 C's which are my favorites. All the things that are bad for me, but I love.
I know. All of us love all the things that are bad for us. We call it
Chocolate.
guilty pleasures.
Chocolate, cheese, cream, and chips.
What I wouldn't give for that. Chocolate, cream, and
Cream and chips.
no, chocolate, and this one C. Cheese. Wow. So, chocolate, cheese. She calls herself a chocoholic. Isn't that nice? Okay. So, apart from this IIT, disability, discrimination, bad this, do you read light reading?
Very rarely these days.
Please.
Even IIT has
Ready
become
must-
like a hobby for me.
Please ready us by saying you read what mere mortals like us read.
I love fantasy, and
Wow.
I love watching movies.
Harry Potter?
The Lord of the Rings,
Lord
Harry
Rings,
Potter.
yay.
I've had enough of Earth. Anything that takes me outside is good for me.
I know. Tell me about it. Wonder Woman, Superwoman?
Yes, absolutely.
Where we just go and kill all the bad guys. Yeah? Seriously. And pastimes?
Music,
What music?
old Hindi songs
Sing.
actually.
Sing.
Only Baapre.
Hurry, sing, yeah. It's just us. We'll sing along. One song. Old Hindi song.
You didn't even give me a hint of this.
Sing. You anyway wouldn't have had time to practice with all that's going on.
Seriously.
Sing.
Just the thing that is.
Nothing. Sing. 4 lines.
ओहरे ताल मिले नदी के जल में, नदी मिले सागर में, सागर मिले कौन से जल में, कोई जाने ना। ओहरे ताल मिले नदी के जल में, नदी मिले सागर में, सागर मिले कौन से जल में, कोई जाने ना।
We are a bunch of women and we can't let you go without a recipe. Barley adai.
Barley adai is a very, very healthy food with very little oil and gluten-free, no rice.
Where did we learn all this? Gluten free, no oil. This one 4C daughter.
You can choose your vegetables, whichever you feel like. It's very easy. It takes time, of course. You have to soak the 1 cup of, no, not barley. Barley, it comes to 1 cup of moong dal, 1 cup of urad dal, and 1 cup of little millet, anything, so say samai or kudaravali, anything you can choose. That soak everything overnight, and then in the morning you grind it with ginger, salt, and chili, green chili. If you want, you can add green chili, or if you want red chili, you can add. You can add palak or coriander, anything you want, you can add in that, and then grind it to a paste, and then keep aside for some time, and then take barley. Barley, make it a fine powder. It will not come a very fine powder, but you can till you can make it a powder. Add this to that dough, and then add whatever vegetable you want to add. You can add simla mirch, anything like carrot. You can spray and add, and make it a dough so that you can make a thicker dosa kind of thing. Add few drops of oil, coconut oil, or any not plastic bottled oil, anything from the grinder thing. Then that's it. You can top it with mushrooms if you want, tomato slices, or anything you can do. Make it like a pizza dough also you can use. You can, if you
Check
want,
out
you
the
can put
picture on
some
her
cheese.
Facebook page.
Yeah, I can attest it tastes yum.
If you want, you can taste, like add cheese on top of it, some olive and mushrooms. You can invent your own. Thank you
so
for
much.
listening.
So we have kind of come to the close of the meeting. I would just like to take 5 more minutes of your time to narrate 2-3 experiences that I have had, and also add a note about the kind of work they are doing. So I had gone on this trip to Tiruvannamalai. That is the first time I met her 2-3 months back. So as we are trained, you go with a pack of apples and fruits, and I entered their house. Auntie gave me one look. Preethi doesn't eat chocolates. Why did you bring fruits? I was like, oh, okay, Auntie, what does she eat? She eats chocolates. Okay. No one eats fruits in our house. I was like, oh my God, I'll get you chocolates next time. And the second experience, I go and their house is in Tiruvannamalai, and the center that we are talking of is some 2-3 kilometers away. I had gone by car from here. So I took the map and all that from Preethi because it was the old GH, and I don't know the place at all. And I mean, anyway, I get lost between my kitchen and my bedroom. So I'm totally hopeless in sense of direction and geography. So Preethi said, as people, we are so not used to interacting with someone like this. So I was wondering if I can take her in my car. I mean, I've been stupid all through my interactions with her. So she said, I can't come. I get into your car and my car is under service. I'll just come, you go by car. I was like, how will you come? I'll come. Okay, I'll go and wait for you there. Because the center is not yet opened. It's a huge site under construction. You should see it. It's a 5,000 square feet,
20,000.
20,000 square feet, of which the built-in space is some 8,000 to 9,000 square feet. Right now ready. And single-handedly monitored by this girl. Okay. So I said I'm going to the site, and I get into my car with my driver, get lost totally. After 15 minutes, reach the center and call her, Preethi, I'm waiting for you. This girl has just taken her wheelchair and been there in 5 minutes across the roads of Tiruvannamalai. And I went on a Girivalam. This was my first experience. Some 11 kilometers. I was like preparing myself as 14 kilometers. I was preparing myself as though I'm going on a Himalayan trek or something, whether I should wear shoes, whether I should walk. And evening when I wanted to start after the trip to Ramnash, do you want me to join you? I was like, huh? You want to join for the Girivalam? Yeah, I can. I do it all the time, every day. I was like, and then she started, and I was running to catch up with her. And then she'll stop for an ice cream, she'll stop for a soda, she'll stop. people. And then I told her, Preethi, I can't keep up with you. So I will just go because this is the first time for me. I'm not even sure whether I'll finish it. So I'll just do this. And I went out and went home also. I was so tired. So that's the kind of energy and enthusiasm she brings into everything that she does. And you should see her. She goes to the site, talks to those masons, talks to those engineers, talks to those guys, makes sure work is done. Then she comes back, sits on her laptop, shoots out mails, keeps in touch with celebrities, keeps in touch with corporate honchos, does these TED Talks, does these videos, runs her own website, runs her own Facebook and YouTube page. That's Preethi Srinivasan.
And ordering.
And she finds time to send YouTube recipes and demands and menus to her mother.
And even buy vegetables for ourselves.
And so that's what Preethi is for you. And on a very humble note, what you can do. I mean, thank you so much, Rati, Anu, Nina, and the entire team of Duchess for giving us this platform because, as she said, she needs a voice. That's what Preethi needs today. She has everything else. She needs a voice, and that could be the collective voice of all of us here. So what we would like you to do is just spread the word of the good work that she's doing. If you're going, Tiruvannamalai is just 3-4 hours from Chennai. So if you go, please do visit the center, find out what she's doing, and then spread the good word. And then share any feedback that you know. She has a very, very well-structured website. Donate in whatever way you can. Connect her to people. I'm working with her as taking care of, as a part of a working committee. Connect her to people. Connect us to whoever can support our cause in whatever way we can. Because she has taken on this responsibility. And just like, Rama built the Rama Setu and there are a lot of squirrels trying to help, we could use an army of monkeys and an army of squirrels. Thank you so much, all of you, for listening in.
Thank you so much, Rati. Continue to sing. It's okay. I think I can be seen over there. Sujata, are there any questions on the chat?
Okay, I didn't guess that at all.
There was one question which says, give us an idea of how you organize your time, please, Preethi.
Actually, I get up at around 8:45 and in the morning all the things are done and I get dressed and start working at 10 o'clock and I finish working at 11 o'clock the night. So, there are,
No, it's not 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock. It's 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. Just in case.
So, in between I eat and when I need to go to the center, they need some inputs from me. Then I go drive down to the center and then come back and start working again. A lot of it is human interactions and a lot of it is also, see, I live in this tiny bubble, but now I don't have the luxury of saying, so far for the last 7 years, I've never asked anything from anyone. I've never said I'm doing this, please donate for this or that or anything. I go and speak, I provide this service wholeheartedly and people can give what they want to give. I don't want anything for myself, it goes to soul free. This has been my model and I'm very happy with that. But now I don't have that luxury because there is this 20,000 square feet that has been given to me by the government. They have trusted me to do something productive with it. So I have to, and this is now in the crores. And then, we have to employ nearly 40 people, medical professionals and, physiotherapists and so many. So all these interests, the staffing, we need to get people there and there are so many things that I'm overwhelmed by it. And now we're going to have an operational expenditure per month of almost 25 lakhs. And these people are starting work with Soulfree. We've already hired a senior physiotherapist and he has moved his entire family to Tiruvannamalai because he trusted in my word. So I should have the money to pay his next salary. So now I don't have that luxury of saying, oh, I don't ask for anything, whatever comes, I do the best with it. So now I'm, perfectly happy with taking my begging bowl and say, I'm trying to save lives, please come to my rescue. So that's why.
Thank you, Preethi. You definitely have found your voice and may all your dreams come true. And I'm sure each and every one of us at the Duchess Club will support you. Right? We are there with you throughout. And can I have Anu Agarwal and Anu Sachdev here, please? We have a small token on behalf of the Duchess Club.
Rati,
Yeah, we just presented.
Rati.
Nina, Sujata, you're there?
Yeah, just
We're
wait.
going to be handing over a small token from the Duchess Club.
Nina, can we
So,
start?
Solvi,
Yes. Okay, this is for Preeti.
Can you hear us, Rati? Rati, can you hear us?
yes, we can hear you.
Okay, this is for Preeti for this very inspiring session and for the beautiful life that she's leading. Sujata, go.
रिश्ता दिल से दिल के एतबार का जिंदा है हमी से नाम प्यार का रिश्ता दिल से दिल के एतबार का जिंदा है हमी से नाम प्यार का कि मर के भी किसी को याद आएंगे किसी के आंसू में मुस्कुराएंगे कहेगा फूल हर कली से बार बार जीना इसी का नाम है जीना इसी का नाम है
जीना इसी का नाम है
ला 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 ला
ला ला ला
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'd like to invite Mr. Vivek and Jean Savera to say a few words and
Actually, it's a great and a privilege that I just can imagine go through so much. We are not enjoying that.
Thank you so much. Rajee, come back in.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vivek and Nina of Savera Group.
Yes, Rati, Nina from
Okay, now.
Savera has handed over.
And can I invite Mr. Suresh, Suresh, yeah, a well-wisher to come and say a few words.
Friends, thank you for giving me an opportunity to spend 2 minutes with you. She is generally a very, very shy person. She is generally a shy person when it comes to soul free. She'll talk a lot about herself, what she is doing it, but she will never stretch her arm for asking for money. First time she has asked. I thought she is not going to ask for it. So I said, I will ask on her behalf. That's why I came here.
Okay.
So please use your resources, contacts, corporate CSR to get funds for her. As she said, with this 20,000 square feet, I visited it last year. If you have seen that building, you will run away. It was such a dilapidated condition, but she's putting into shape using all her contacts and resources. Duchess Club, individually, collectively, whatever help you can do it. Again, you can describe an elephant view. You come and see it, you know what it is. So visit Tiruvannamalai, see the center, you know what it is. It is a wonderful job. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr.
Rati.
Thank you so much, sir. Over. Now we are on.
Can you hear me, Rati?
Before that, I want to tell Preeti, we've got some delicious Chinese food for you. I hope you like Chinese food. Yeah.
Rati,
So,
can I speak, Rati?
Chinese food and over to.
I think they're not being able to hear me. Anu Sachdev, can you hear me? They can't hear me. Anu Sachdev, can you hear me?
To thank Preethi. We are so humbled and blessed by your presence, dear Preethi and Vijayamma, at our Duchess Club today. Your grit, determination, and spirit is so inspirational. The first time I met you was at an international. The first time I met you was at the International Women's Association, and it brings tears to me when I say you shine with divine glow all around you. Thank you for being our speaker today as we celebrate Women's Day. You have made the celebration so special for all of us. Our sincere and loving wishes and good luck to you on your endeavors. So, I'd also like to give my namaskaram and pranams to you, Mama. You are a wonderful mother. And we all are, she is so blessed by your presence in our life. And as she has said, that she is not there without you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Raji, for a wonderful, insightful conversation with Preethi. Your engaging conversation and meaningful questions truly brought out Preethi's saga of courage and conviction. Thank you all so much today. It was a pleasure indeed having all of you. I think we have celebrated Women's Day today in our true spirit. And I think with all what has happened, the challenging times that we've been facing, it's really brought out some kind of a positive, vibes for everybody. I think we all have learned to touch people's hearts, be kind, that much more compassionate. So happy Women's Day to all.
Anu Sachdev.
I think how can I big up to our mind?
Anu Sachdev. Yeah, I'm here on the computer.
Yeah, Sujata, sorry.
Yes, Nina wanted me to announce that from Savera Charitable Trust, rupees 25,000 check has been handed over to Preethi for Soul Free. And a check from Duchess Helping Hands has also been given to Preethi for Soul Free. Thank you so much.
It's a small contribution, and as you said, we are going to be talking. These are all people, and we are going to be spreading the word.
Preethi, I was not there in person because I was handling the technical Zoom part of it. Otherwise, I would have been there. Thank you so much.
The song was beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And this was your song. Yeah, and a big thank you to Sujata and Savera's technical team. Our hybrid meetings are getting better.